Alright, welcome to our first episode of Photoshop the Basics. Um, really ingenious title there, but really that's what I want to go over. I want to go over the basics of Photoshop. I want people not to be afraid of Photoshop. I want people to love Photoshop. I want to share why I spend most of my day in Photoshop. Why do I love working in Photoshop? Why do I love what I do every day? Um, to me, I mean, it's so much more than just working in Photoshop. You know, I work in photography, I work in post production. I love creating that final image. I love what Photoshop allows me to do. I love how I can do a lot of stuff that I used to be able to do in the darkroom. I can now do in Photoshop and bring that to different substrates, whatever I print on, whether it's canvas, whether it's paper, whether it's all this different media type that's out there. Um, Photoshop is really the entryway into that digital darkroom. Yeah, there's a lot of other programs out there, a lot of good programs that you can use, um, and yeah, give them a whirl, see what you think. Um, but if you are interested in Photoshop, if you get your hands on a copy, best thing in the world. It'll open up so many doors for you. If you can't get Photoshop, the full version, then definitely check out Photoshop Elements. I think you can get under like $100 now. In fact, a lot of times it comes free with a lot of different software. Um, so check that out too. And maybe as we go through this, I might start another series at the same time going over Photoshop Elements. Really, I'm not sure how long this series is going to take. It's going to be in depth, but it's going to be easy. It's going to, if you're a techie, sorry to disappoint you. I'm a techie myself. I love the details, but I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of algorithms and how filters work and how this works and how this works. I'm just going to kind of go through, like, we're going to start off just going over the workspace. Then we're going to start going through the different tools. Then we're going to go through palettes or panels as they're called now. And what is a panel? Um, I really just want people to look at Photoshop and not be afraid. When I first opened up Photoshop 5 back in high school, um, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. In fact, um, I got a copy of it, loaded it up, looked at it, shut it down, and didn't even pick it up for another 6 months or something like that. Just because I had no clue. And man, I wish if I would have started then what I could do with it now. But really, just to let you guys know, I'm self-taught Photoshop. I started really seriously looking at Photoshop about 2003. So for about 9 years now, I've been pretty solid into Photoshop. I've got my Adobe certification in CS5 now. I love it. I think it's the best thing ever. That's what we're going to be working with is CS5. We're not going to be working extended, so don't expect like 3D options, all that kind of stuff. Um, Really, I just want to give this a go and see how this works out and everything, and hope that everybody has a great time. So just get started. This first tutorial, what we're going to go over is just a basic workspace of Photoshop. When you open it up, what are you looking at? Okay, now this is what we're looking at here is basically one of the default settings for Photoshop when you first open it. We have what we call a workplace. A workspace is how your menus are set up, how are your panels set up, how does everything look when you open it up. So you can see this bar over here is what we have is our toolbar. So we have our different tools here. Over here we have here's our adjustments, our layers. You can see where we can click on channels, paths. These panels are in tabs. You can see how they're different on tabs. A lot of people are familiar now with Firefox and Internet Explorer and some of the other browsers going that way. Mask, we have adjustments, mask. These are just different panels. And again, don't worry if you don't know what they mean. We'll go over those eventually. But I want to let you know these are called panels. Why are they called panels? Because they are just little panels that you can float around and move. I know that's a great explanation, but like I said, not getting too technical here. They used to be called palettes. So if you look at old tutorials online and everything, you'll see a lot of information about palettes. That's exactly what these are. They just decided to officially change them over to panels since now we can do a lot more with them than we used to do in previous versions, even in CS4, and especially before CS4 and CS3 and earlier versions. So that's what we've got. Up here we've got our menu. This bar right here is our toolbar. Whatever tool you have chosen it will give you your options for that tool. So if we click on the Move tool, these are the different options for the Move tool, for the Brush tool. So we've got these different options, and that's wherever wherever you're going to change your options at. Um, and so over here we have more panels that we can click on. This is just a different view of the panels. We can have these nice little slim down views, or we can have to where these are really extended out. So we can have all these kicked out like that, or we can have them all smushed together if we're trying to save screen space. Typically, I actually work on a very large screen, so I keep these all out, and actually I have these spread out all over, and most of the time these are actually on a separate screen. So if you do have dual monitors, you can actually take all these, throw them off screen, and now those are on another screen to where I can still see them, but they're not taking up my workspace. Great option. All right, so that's just the first tutorial. That's just an opening. Like I said, we're just running some tests on this. We're just seeing how this is going to flow. Hopefully, I'll get a better schedule down. But I just want you guys to know what you're looking at, um, and not to be afraid of the interface when you first open up Photoshop. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.